Hello and welcome to the channel. Thank you for stopping by to watch my video of stage one of the Zwift Big Spin 24. This race is going to take place on Suki's playground, and when I went into this, I wasn't planning on racing it. The goal was just to ride zone 2, zone 3, just to get some recovery in my legs and to just not really push anything. So as you can see, I'm way back towards the back. I jumped into this with about 3 minutes to go to the start of the ride and with no warm up at all. So I wasn't really planning on racing this. However, after sitting here for about a minute, I decided, I wonder if I can get 3 spins on this ride. So that meant I was going to have to race it to get done with the first leg as fast as I can. Now, I've seen some races that were done on this, and I've seen them run at around about 26 minutes, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. So I had an idea on how much time I would have at the end to save the workout and then rejoin and then start from wherever they put me in the group and see if I can finish it, get another spin, and hop back in with the rejoin before the 30 minutes was up. So I knew I was going to have to press off the start just to get up to the front or to get with the front group. I didn't push too hard to get up front. I just seemed to cut right through the group because, again, most of the people just riding this as a group ride. And I kind of caught the front of the group very fast. Well, yeah, I mean, you could see 15 seconds and I'm in the front. So I backed off a little bit just to see if other riders were going to go with me. And just as luck would have it, there were some decent riders in this group that would eventually push this pace so that we could at least I would have a good shot at being able to rejoin 2 more times to get 3 spins. Unfortunately, I had the tri-spoke wheels on my bike. And this was actually my first time riding with these wheels. And oddly enough, I could tell the difference between those, or how much pressure I had to put on the pedals, and the DT Swiss disc wheels were much easier to go. I mean, it kind of blew my mind that I could sense that. But I ride around on the DT Swiss wheels almost all the time because I pretty much only do flat races. So I'm really attuned to them and the performance I can get out of those. But these wheels, I don't know, they look snazzy, but something was definitely up with them. They just felt slow and heavy. But, you know, it's obviously too late to change them. I can't change them now. The only way to change them is actually stop and then change the wheels and then start again. And then that would just destroy any chance of me trying to get 3 spins on this one event. So I had to deal with it. But hey, you got to play the cards you're dealt when you're dealt them. Now, this is actually my third time doing the big spin event. I've always done the standard one, the B one, which is a shorter distance. I figure if I do the shorter distance, that'll give me the opportunity to do the rejoin. And if you look at my timeline graph so far, it was mostly in the green, yellow. There was some orange in there, but I knew I was going to have to push to try and get as much time as I could at the end of this first leg to be able to try and rejoin twice. So I knew that my goal for this was right around about that 25-minute mark. And you can see the guy that's up front, C. David, he's going to play an integral part in getting me to that finish line in 25 minutes. This guy's, I'm going to say this guy's a beast because he stayed up front and pushed his pace for almost the entire 25 minutes. He never really let off the gas. I think I might have been up front of him maybe once or twice, but for the most part, he was doing all the heavy lifting on this ride. And you'll actually see that towards the end because I'm going to skip past a lot of this because it's just, I don't need to show it all. But you'll actually be able to see my timeline graph, and I'll show it to you at the end, that this thing was pretty much orange for the whole race. And we'll skip up to that part now. Okay, we got about 2K to go, and there's a reason why I skipped up to this 2K mark. You'll see that later on in the video. But yeah, this is our last push up the Castle KOM, and you can see my heart rate is right at about 180. It's been like 180 for the last, I'm going to say 10 minutes or so. If you look at my timeline graph, you can see that it's mostly orange and yellow. I was pushing in this race to stay with C. David and to stay on his will. That guy was pushing hard. Now on the climbs, I get a little bit more ahead of him on the climb, but for the most part, he's going to go right back by me, and then I'm going to let him push. Because I felt like I was struggling with these wheels. They just didn't feel like they were rolling. So I did hear something later on. I see something in the chat about Zwift Insider knowing that the wheels weren't coated right and that they were slow and that they were going to get fixed in the next update. That's useless to me right now because I'm in the race on them. But I just got to push. I got to push. Like I said, my goal for this is 25 minutes. And with about a 1K to go, I'm looking like I'm going to hit that 25 minutes. So I'm just going to let this part play until we get to the spin. Actually, I did want to say something about this final kick to the finish. I was in deep. Heart rate at 187. I was struggling, and I was still going to try and pull off a sprint. I didn't really care if I won this or not, just trying to get to 25 minutes, but that competitor in me just will not let anybody beat me, especially in a sprint. So I put in a dig and boom, got it. And I get rewarded for that because I get the bike. Yes, the Atomic Cruiser. I got it. I'm very happy about that. Joe Kelly, I know Joe Kelly, he told me good race. I didn't get a chance to say anything to him, but look at my timeline graph. This thing is nuts. I felt like there's a heart. It had to be the hardest. Look at my FTP. 339. I was pushing hard in that race, and it's probably because of those stupid wheels. But this is me. I probably took a little bit too long because I wanted to save that graph, and I probably should have clicked off of those and didn't save the video. This would have switched over faster for me, but it's saving the video for that last sprint. And I'm going to skip this part, click continue right quick. And I was hoping it jumped me at the top of the castle climb, the Castle KOM, and boom, 2K to go. That's why I did that jump to the 2K mark. So I know that's going to take me about 3 minutes to get through this. This is going to put me on the razor's edge. My legs were so tapped out, I couldn't even jump on the power real quick. I had to pedal somewhere around about zone 2, zone 3 just to try and get my legs to recover. I was like, oh man, I got to climb this hill. I wasn't sure I was going to make it or not, but I still wanted to give it somewhat of an effort to try and get there. I knew I needed to be probably under 3 minutes for this last 2K to be in time to make that jump. So I was just trying to recover. I was just trying to recover. My heart rate did come down to 163, but I was still breathing hard. I was still breathing very hard at this point. Even though my heart rate had come down, I was still breathing hard, trying to get in some fluids, some water. I grabbed a gel and was taking a gel to get a gel in to get some sugars into my body. I'm like, okay, I knew I was going to have to probably push again, but I wanted to wait until I got to the top of this climb before I tried to do that. And then at that point, it was just, will I make it or won't I make it? That's the big question. So it was time to push. I could see groups of people ahead of me. I was trying to push enough to get to those groups so at least I would get to some draft. And I was happy that this one guy went by me because I was hoping he would pull me up to this batch of riders to make this somewhat a little bit easier on me. I just didn't feel like I had any gas. I was hating these wheels. I just wanted these wheels gone. Get them off the bike so that I could go faster. And I just had to put in a day just to get into this group. I wanted to get into this group and hope they would pull me along. I saw 2:30 up on the counter, and I was like, oh, this is going to be really close. This is going to be really, really close. I don't know if I'm going to make 3 minutes, and I know I'm going to have to wait for that spinning thing to finish spinning before I would know whether or not or what I would get for that spin. At this point, I didn't care what I got. I just wanted to get the spin over with. And boom, done. 308, 306. Here's the spinner. Come on, spin, spin, spin. Sky blue helmet. That's also new. I never had the sky blue helmet. So now I need to hurry up and get out of this and rejoin. 324. Oh, this. I don't know. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. Clicked OK. At this point, I should have clicked cancel here to delete that section of ride. And it would have went back in a whole lot faster. At a minimum, I should have taken that video off so it wouldn't have taken the time to load that video again. And I know that that's slowing me down from getting back in fast enough. And finally, I click skip, click continue, and boop! Nope. I missed it. I missed the timer for the rejoin. It had to be maybe 15, 20 seconds or something like that I missed it. So I didn't make the counter. I didn't make the 3 spins. It was a good effort. That effort actually got me a new FTP. But I'll try this again another time. There on stage 2, the distance on the standard ride is about 1K less than this one here. So I know I should be able to do it on stage 2. But I want to give it another shot on stage 1. When I'll find the time to get that done, I don't know. Maybe on Sunday. I still have the Zwift games that I have to deal with. I have that climb up the Alps that I have to deal with. So I want to save my legs for that. So maybe Sunday sometime I'll try it again and see if I can get it. But until then, thanks for watching the video. Peace.